All right, now let's close it out here with our power rankings. A lot of shuffling going around. There's a lot of teams coming off. I'll tell y'all right now. Steelers are off. Saints are off. Rams are close to off, but Saints and Steelers will be falling off this list. So we have to do two new teams will be in the top 10. Everybody else is getting shuffled around a little bit. So here was the power rankings going into week 15. We had the Steelers are at 10, the Browns at 9, the Ravens at 8, the Saints at 7, the Titans at 6, the Seahawks at 5, the Rams at 4, the Bills at 3, the Packers at 2, and the Chiefs number 1. So a lot of movement here. We'll start at number 10, work our way up to number 1. But the new number 10 team, I told y'all, we put the Steelers down to number 10 going into this week because we wanted to give them one more chance to step it up, one more chance to kind of prove that they belong here in the top 10, and they floundered big time. So we got to knock them off. And the new number 10 team, we're going to do it like we did with the Steelers. The new number 10 team is the Rams, folks. That loss is inexcusable. You lost to a no-win team. This offense for the Rams, they're very questionable. They're probably the worst offense that we've had in the top 10. They're not consistent. They put up like barely 20 points when they face bad teams and when they face good teams. They're always consistently about 20, 24 points, and that's not going to get it done. We just saw you get outscored by the Jets. That's disgusting. I would be ashamed of myself. So Rams have to drop to number 4 to number 10. We're giving them one more week. They have to start proving to us that this offense is better than what they've been showing this first 15 weeks of the season, because it's not good. Even when Jared Goff's throwing for 350 yards and both of his number 1 and number 2 receivers are having over 100 yards receiving, they still put up 27 points. Nothing's going right for this offense, but they still put up 20 points. That's what they do. They'll find ways to put up 20, 24 points. They just have to hope that their defense kind of holds them to whatever under or, 1 point fewer of what the offense puts up. And unfortunately, they couldn't do it this week. So we have to maybe sell some of this Rams offensive stock. I don't know what it is about it. They just they're not consistent. So Rams dropped to number 10. Alrighty, Browns. They're moving up, but we have a new number 9 team, and we're gonna move this team back into the top 10. This is one of our 2 additions to the top 10. New team coming in. It's going to be the Miami Dolphins. And folks, this defense. Oh my goodness, this defense. Takeaways. I mean, we've got takeaways in like 20 straight games dating back to last year. This offense, Tua's the perfect game manager. That's all we need him to be his rookie season, and that's what he's doing. No receivers, no problem. I'll throw for 145 yards, 6 incompletions, and just hand the ball off and run it. And the running backs, I mean, we're talking deep into running backs that they're still being productive. Salvin Ahmed, Matt Breida getting it done. And this kind of just speaks to how well coached this Miami Dolphins team is. Everybody is buying in. Next man up mentality. Yes, we're down our number 1, number 2 wide receivers. Yes, we're down our number 1 tight end. Yes, our number 3 wide receiver. Yes, our number 2 tight ends really aren't that good at catching. So what do? We run the ball. Everybody buys in. The defense, holds the entire game, holding the Patriots offense to field goals. So love this Dolphins defense. The offense, they just need to be game managers. And, when they do that, they win games. So we're going to put the Dolphins back in the top 10 at number 9. Alrighty, the new number 8 team, and this is the last new addition to the top 10, folks. The new team, we've got to put this team in. I love this running attack, and this defense is all right, and it's making the quarterback's job so much easier. We've got to start talking about the Colts, folks. This running back committee that the Colts have are top 3 in the league. Ravens, number 1, running the ball. Browns probably number 2 in their kind of running attack by committee, and I think this Colts team at number 3, Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines, absolutely wonderful. Colts, they need to start getting some recognition. We were a little hesitant on putting them in the top 10 because we felt that Phillip Rivers, he was just going to take that step back. We saw it last season. We kind of saw it a little bit in the beginning of the season. Maybe the first 4 weeks kind of scared us off, but he's cleaning it up, and we're not going to just kind of say, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. If it's never coming, we can admit it's never coming, and I don't think it's coming. It may come in the playoffs. It may, and that's why we want to kind of still be hesitant to kind of move move this team up slowly but surely, maybe one position every week, but we got to put them in the top 10. Colts, love what they're doing. Their defense is all right. It's not as good as everybody makes it out to be. The coaches is all right. Some close games that they're kind of winning, all right. They're finding ways to win close games. I can buy into that. Take this team slowly, but this running attack, this running game by this Colts team, it's one of the tops in the league, folks. So Colts at number 8. Love what they're doing over there. Alrighty, new number 17, and we got to move this team up a little bit. We got to put the Browns here. I do want to move the Browns up a lot more, but there's a lot of other greatness that's going around in the league, folks. So, I mean, this is a very, very tough list. I would say, oh my goodness, I'm messing everything up. All right, here we go. Let's get this right. All right, so there's a real kind of numbers 1 through 7 are kind of very, very close. 8, 9, and 10, there's a little bit more of a gap between 7 and 8 than there is between like 7 and 1. This is very, very close, folks. Don't think, oh, the Browns are at 7. I love this Browns team. I think the coach is outstanding. Baker Mayfield is buying into what the coach is saying and is not turning it over and is being absolutely fantastic. They've got the weapons. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, Austin Hooper, they've got the weapons, folks. And this defense is good too. So everything is really good for this Browns. Really, once again, the one knock for the Browns is Baker Mayfield's kind of ceiling. What is that? But so far, Kevin Stefanski is doing a great job scheming ways for Baker Mayfield to have success in this league, and it's going fantastic, folks. So we got to put the Browns at number 7. And I do want to move them up higher. It's just there's a little bit better. There's a little bit betterness in some of these other teams. So this isn't a knock against the Browns. They're fantastic. Number 1 through 7, I'm telling y'all, are very, very close. 7 through like 8, 9, and 10, it's a little bit more of a gap, but we still love this Browns team. We move them to 7. All right, number 6 team, new number 6 team. Got to put this team a little bit down, folks. A little bit down. We're dropping Packers from number 2 to number 6. I've seen this time and time again. It's this Packers offense. They just stumble sometimes. They put up 3 points in the second half last week, folks. I get they were up kind of big, but they were still trying to put up points, and it's just something about this Packers offense. It's something I don't know what it is, folks. I watch them every week, and I still can't put my finger on it. It's just something that doesn't go wrong. They can't pick up the first downs. That's what it is. They go 3 and out a lot, and they'll have good spurts. They'll have a good first quarter, but then they trail off. We've seen it time and time again, and I'm kind of over it. I get better offenses with other teams kind of more consistently, so I'm a little hesitant to kind of move this Packers team, or kind of, I don't want this Packers team kind of high on the list anymore. I've seen it. I don't want it to be kind of a one and done in the playoffs. They're good offensively when everything's going right, but when they hit that first sign of adversity, they really kind of don't overcome it ever, and they'll have problems scoring the ball, and that's not good. I need more consistent offense. Aaron Rodgers is great. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Aaron Rodgers. It's just something about this offense in totality. They get lazy. They get bored. They get uninterested in the games. They don't want to finish games. They don't want to close out games. They have a good series. Their head gets big. I don't know what it is, but we have to drop this Packers team down. I'm a little worried about them. I'm honestly very worried about them going into the playoffs, folks. All right, so we got to move them down to number 6. I've seen it with the Packers before. I've been hesitant moving them up, highly in our power rankings, but got to move them down to number 6. Let's see how they close out this kind of last 2 weeks. Are they going to be super competitive? They're very close to locking up that number 1 seed. Not sure how Aaron Rodgers is going to kind of play these last 2 weeks. We've got to move them down because I can't trust this offense. And if they start taking breaks, if Aaron Rodgers rests like week 17, maybe even week 16, I'm not sure of the whole kind of playoff scenarios, but I do know that they're currently the number 1 in the NFC, and they could wrap it up because Saints just lost again. So Packers, if they rust Aaron Rodgers either week 16 or week 17, it will be the worst thing for them. They need to play all 17 weeks. They need to get this offense figured out, and kind of what goes wrong, they need to fix it. Packers at 6. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Folks. All right. Let's go to number 5, and this number 5 team went up big this week. Love it, love it, love it. This Ravens offense is so unstoppable, folks. It's so unstoppable. And now we've got Lamar Jackson passing for 200 yards. I can absolutely get behind that, folks. That's what I want to see. I do know that the Ravens are more of a rushing team. I get it, but I still want to see Lamar Jackson aired out because the man plays quarterback, and that's what every other team does, at least 200 yards. That's what we need to see. So love that we got a huge passing attack, 3 passing touchdowns, 240 yards, rushing the ball. That was still effective. Everything was working for the Ravens, and when everything works for this team, you cannot stop them. You cannot stop this Ravens team. I mean, the Browns tried to do it. The Browns tried to outscore them. Doesn't work. You cannot outscore this Ravens team. So love what they're doing offensively. Defensively, they work very well as well. Great offense and defense. And this offense is truly something special. Running back by committee, Lamar Jackson, passing, running, doesn't matter. Ravens at 5. I like them over the Packers because I get a better offense. It's just that simple. So more consistent, better offense. Ravens at number 5. And they're not even in the playoffs. Isn't that crazy? This Ravens team isn't in the playoffs. This AFC playoff picture is heating up, folks. We've got the Ravens at 5. All right, number 4. We're going to move this team up a little bit. Now, we're going to put Seattle at number 4. They're winning close games, which I absolutely love. I don't want to see you blowing out teams because then you haven't overcome adversity, and you need to overcome adversity if you want to make a deep playoff run. Those playoff games are all going to be close, folks. So, yes, you blow out teams in the regular season. You blow out the bad teams. You don't learn a lot from that. That just kind of shows what your ceiling is, what your potential is. I want to see how you face against the best defenses on the road, late in the season, fighting for playoff positioning, and the Seahawks are finding ways to win these games, and that I can get behind. We know what Russell Wilson can do. It's just, can he do it? Now, we haven't seen him kind of do it a little bit these last couple weeks. Dinking and dunking, less than 200 yards passing, turnovers, still an issue, but this defense is getting better for Seattle. We just saw Jamal Adams having an absolute ridiculous season, setting kind of the sack record for defensive backs, getting pressure on the quarterbacks, being a nuisance in the defense. So love the Seattle defense, and I'm never going to count out Russell Wilson when he's got all this receiver talent now that they're bringing in Josh Gordon and their rushing attacks getting a little bit healthier. This Seattle team, they overcame adversity this entire season, and now they're trying to make this playoff push. I love Seattle, folks. You cannot count out Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. They're one of the best to do it. They'll get everything cleaned up for the playoffs, and this defense is looking real good. So Seattle at number 4. Alrighty, number 3. Here we go. New number 3 team is going to be the Tennessee Titans, folks. Oh my goodness, they're putting up 40 points. The defense is looking good. Derrick Henry is unstoppable. Ryan Tannehill is unstoppable because Derrick Henry's unstoppable. Corey Davis is unstoppable. Corey Davis is unstoppable because Ryan Tannehill is unstoppable because Derrick Henry is unstoppable. And then A.J. Brown is unstoppable because Corey Davis is unstoppable because Ryan Tannehill is unstoppable because Derrick Henry's unstoppable. And they're all unstoppable because they've got a great coach, folk. Mike Vrabel, coach of the year, coach of the century, coach of the millennium. If they can get back to the AFC Championship game, if they can get to the Super Bowl, this may be a fantastic kind of dynasty that is starting in Tennessee. And I know it's kind of wild to say because we've got this Chiefs dynasty going on. We've got kind of this rising Ravens dynasty. We've got that kind of old school dynasty from Seattle. This transfer of dynasty from the New England to kind of Tampa Bay that's rising, and this Tennessee Titans is slowly just making themselves known to be one of the best teams in the league. We've got them at number 3. Absolutely love them. Defense, offense, coaching, weapons, everything about them. They put up the points. They hold the teams. Now, we do just need to see them be a little bit more consistently scoring. Got to see them score in the first half and in the second half, play a complete game, and when they do that, you can't stop them. So Titans at 3. All right, number 2, folks. Got to upgrade this Buffalo Bills team. Josh Allen's playing out of his mind. They've got a great defense. Literally, Josh Allen is looking like he's Peyton Manning. He's looking like a first ballot Hall of Famer his 3rd year in, and it's crazy the progress that he's taken from last year to this year, but he's playing out of his mind, folks, and we've got to start respecting this team a little bit more. 3 last week, 2 this week, winning to Denver. The defense was never a problem. They shut Drew Lock down, and they put up a lot of points just because, hey, we can't. Oh, the Titans are putting up points. We want to put up points too. We could have just not played in the 4th quarter because the game was over by then anyway, but we want to keep pace with that Tennessee Titans team because we see them put up 40 points a couple of times. We see that Ravens team put up 40 points a couple of times. We want to prove that we can put up 40 points a couple of times too. I love this defense. I love this Bills offense. As long as, Josh Allen's not turning the ball over, this team's going to the Super Bowl, folks, or at least challenging the Titans or the Chiefs in this kind of AFC, because these teams in the AFC, I think, are a lot better than the teams in the NFC, folks. They've got the offense with the defense, consistent offense with consistent good defense. In the NFC, we've got some good defenses, but these offenses are not looking as good as these AFC ones. This Titans team, Bills team, Chiefs team, all putting up the points. Love it, love it, love it. Josh Allen, keep not turning the ball over, and you can kind of rival for number 1, maybe. So Bills at number 2. And then Chiefs, we're leaving them at the number 1 spot. It's Patrick Mahomes. You can't stop them. I don't think that Kansas City Saints game was it was kind of as close as that final score indicated. 3-point win for the Chiefs. Really maybe should have been 10. We see the Saints get that kind of late score touchdown, make it a 1-score game. The Saints couldn't do anything in the first half. Field goal after field goal after field goal. Even when they were gifted, wide open touchdowns, off of a fumble, they still knocked it out in the back of the end zone for a safety. So they're not putting up the points. I don't think Drew Brees is that dynamic as a passer anymore. I think he's kind of getting figured out. I really think the Saints are making mistakes starting, Drew Brees last week and for the rest of the season. This Chiefs team, folks, they're great offensively. Travis Kelce, he's a tight end. He's beating all these other wide receivers. Tyreek Hill is the number 1 wide receiver in the league. You can make that argument, and I would endorse it. This Chiefs team, Andy Reid, they just won the Super Bowl. They know what it takes. They know how to buy in. Patrick Mahomes doesn't turn the ball over. He's absolutely magnificent. He is a sure first ballot Hall of Famer. He has revolutionized the passing game like Steph Curry has done the shooting game in the NBA. Chiefs at number 1. You can't stop them. All you can do is try to outscore them because the Chiefs score in bursts. They score in bursts. They'll have a great second quarter. They'll have a good kind of first half of the third quarter, and then, they're just average everywhere else. But you have to survive that kind of scoring burst that the Chiefs have. They can score quickly on offense. They can make you go 3 and out very quickly on defense and go score another kind of 10-minute drive on offense if they wanted to, or just go again and score another touchdown in 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and now you're down 14-0 in a span of 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Can you survive that? If you can survive that, you have a chance. Dolphins had a chance, couldn't close out. Saints had a chance, couldn't really close out. Not really even kind of the same chance that the Dolphins had, but that's what you get with the Chiefs. Scoring, burst offense, and you got to watch out for it. Chiefs at number 1.